Aries, welcome back to Distilled Tarot. My name is Shannon. I'll be guiding you through this week's reading. This is going to be our weekly reading for July 9th through the 15th. At the heart of your reading, we have the Strength card. So you are feeling vulnerable in a way that makes you feel more alive. Whereas in the past, thinking about submitting to this sort of guidance or leadership or training was a bit off-putting for you. For some reason, perhaps something about the particular person involved this time, or I get a feeling of like just their countenance, their tone, the way that they speak to you makes you feel safer in their tutelage. Tower in reverse at the bottom of the deck when that comes out tells me that your tendency in this type of a situation based on your past experience would be to expect disaster. To expect everything to be, the rug to be pulled out from under you. But in this scenario, let's see how the reading plays out. But right now it looks very positive, and the sense that I'm getting is that this is, you're feeling very positively about it, very trusting, very cautiously optimistic. Let's see what the challenge is. What is the obstacle for Aries to overcome going through the unknown, the moon? So similarly to the vibe that I was just talking about, you haven't experienced this type of situation play out in a positive way, the way it's going to this time around. So it's a lot, it feels like you're stepping into the unknown. It's a lot of unknowns. With the Magician in reverse at the bottom of the deck, you are very... Okay, hold on. Let me think of the word here. You have your guard up internally. So there's like this juxtaposition going on internally. You trust it, it feels right, but based on those past experiences, you're still looking out for how are they trying to manipulate me? How are they trying to use me? How are they trying to pull one over on me? You're looking for the trick in the treat. Let's see. And that's not to say that there is one. I'm just picking up on the vibe that, especially the fact that the unknown, the moon, comes out in the challenge position, I suspect, and again, let's see how the rest of the reading plays out, but I suspect this is saying you're meant to overcome that fear of the unknown. You're meant to have a positive experience this time around. Hold on, I'll knock on some wood for you. Let's see. Okay, yeah, you do wish for a positive experience this time around. In your focus, we have the Nine of Cups. And it's keeping up with the theme thus far. Bottom of the deck is the naysayer. That's that little voice inside of you saying, yeah, but you can't trust your friends. Keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. There's, the worst backstabbing comes from the people who know you the best. You can't get hurt by anyone if you don't let them close to you. With this Three of Cups in reverse, it's like, I think it's the people closest to you when you let people get close that in the past you've had negative experiences or feel like they stab you in the back or they screw you over. So I'm definitely picking up on some trust issues here based on real experiences that you are viewing correctly. Okay. In the past position, we have the Judgment card. I think this is you giving people chance after chance after chance. Like you'll put it in your rear view mirror, you'll drive away from it, metaphorically speaking, or literally, and then something will bring it back into your current reality. Whether it's them asking or you getting an inkling, like, maybe I was too hasty, maybe I should, sift through my past experiences to see what is still alive, what still has life left in it that I could make use of, or that I maybe threw the baby out with the bathwater, just to throw another metaphor at you. Okay, at the bottom of the deck when that comes out, we have the Seven of Swords, which is like this feeling of I've given people other chances. I've given people multiple chances in the past. And it's been from a vibe of there's something that you just don't know about the situation yet. Like let's say you've broken up with someone in the past. And I think if this is your story, it feels like it's a pattern. So whether it be breaking up and getting back together with the same person multiple times, or forgiving a parent for bad behavior multiple times, whatever the case may be, like it might have been different people in similar scenarios, but this pattern is just kind of it's feeling like a rut. And you're so done with it. Like you're aware of the pattern and you just feel done with it. What I want to get at with this Seven of Swords is that there's this element of the lure, the thing that lures you back is this feeling of, what do I not know here? There's something that you just can't put your finger on that felt wrong about it, but you can't place it. You can't give yourself anything concrete to say, this is why I don't trust this person, or this is why I feel like they're lying to me or cheating on me. But you start doubting yourself over time because I forget the phenomenon it is, but it's very common in human nature. And if any one of you knows it, feel free to put it in the comments. If I find it, I'll pin it so people can refer to it. But it's this where we want to, no, not that we want to, that we do just automatically forget about pain and remember pleasure or happy times. So it's like when you go through something very physically painful in the moment, it will be excruciating, but the longer time that time passes, the less fresh that memory is. And it's like a survival mechanism for humans. Okay, so part one of why this is showing up here at the bottom of the deck, the Seven of Swords, is to bring to your awareness that that's part of the thing that triggers you, is the unknown factor. You want closure. You want to know why it happened. Or you start to doubt that you were correct in your feelings or intuition all along. The other aspect of this is I think a lot of you finally do complete that iteration of the cycle when you get proof of wrongdoing. It's like your instinct is there that something is wrong, and then you invite the person back into your life, and then you get proof that something is wrong, and you close that chapter. The thing is, I think part of why, and the next card that comes out will tell us whether or not I'm right here, I think part of why you're going through this is to recognize more aspects of this pattern so that you can break free from it. Okay, let's see. How does Spirit view this situation? How does Aries higher self see the situation? Okay, pointing you towards fresh energy in the emotional sphere. With the Ace of Cups, this is saying there's all this fresh emotion that wants to come through for you, but you're still hung up on the power play. Emperor in reverse at the bottom of the deck is like, someone is getting the better of me, and if I don't put my attention toward them and prove to myself and to them that I'm getting the better of them, that I win, then I can't move on. But the key is they're still winning the longer you are pointing your attention at them, because they have your attention. You are winning the moment that you close the door and generate your own closure. Like, don't look for closure from another person or from the past, because what if they never give it to you and you spend the rest of your life feeling like you have something to prove to yourself or to someone else? They will have won. They will have occupied space in your heart and your mind and your spirit in your life, in the time that you spend, potentially for years. So don't let them. Once you close that book, close that chapter and move forward, there is so much new, fresh emotion available to you, whether that comes from a fresh emotional perspective that emerges from within you or some new offer coming in from the universe through another human being, most likely in expressing positive emotion toward you, perhaps even romantic interest, perhaps even a declaration of love. Now, I do want to say, though, a little asterisk here, because Venus retrograde is coming up within the next couple of weeks, like this month. And that's going to be a time where it's even worse for exes coming back into your life than Mercury retrograde. And across the board, humanity is going to be more keen to fall for it. If it's not something that's right for you, don't go back to it. So look to the new. You might get multiple new offers. So don't think that if your ex comes back and they fall into this pattern of like, if this reading applies to a specific person from your past and they come back around saying, I've changed, I want a fresh start, more likely than not, this is not about them. Definitely use your discernment on that. Now, I'm not here to make any decisions for you. Your own discernment is always the best, always takes priority, is always going to lead you in the right path for you. Remember, this is a general reading, and who knows how many people are going to watch this, okay? So I believe in tarot, but I believe in your discretion, the individual's own discretion over their life, and being the paramount guidance that you should always listen to. All right, rant over. In your near future, we have the Two of Wands. This is you ready to leave a comfort zone and launch into a new path, a new plan. It could be strategizing, and Venus retrograde is a great time for strategizing. I believe the retrograde is going to be like third week of July through October, I want to say. So sorry, I know I'm bringing this up and not having specifics for you. It's not an astrology channel yet. It might trend in that direction and add that content eventually, because I am very much studying it. However, this has you with the world in your hands, kind of like a map, but in the sense of having all your ducks in a row, preparing for a new adventure in life. You're in the planning stages, but with this High Priestess in reverse at the bottom of the deck, that tells me that you're still kind of checking in with your inner self. You're trying to get intuitive feedback based on this plan. It's almost like you are intellectually planning something, but you're not sure how you feel about it yet. And that's actually really good timing with this Venus retrograde, because if your plan works with the timing of not finalizing things or moving forward until like late October, November, or later, this phase, these few months, is going to be great for that. Check in with your intuition, plan something, test the waters, but don't commit, and then come back and check in with your intuition. It's going to be a lot of these like trial period or testing out ideas. It's excellent for that. And you'll if you're feeling unsure about what your intuition is telling you, doing those trials or testing the waters during this phase while Venus is in retrograde is going to be it's going to be fruitful. It will help you understand what you feel and what you want and why. Okay, let's see the surprise energy. What is going to affect this situation for Aries that they don't see coming? Not wanting something. The Four of Cups is the energy of being all set, being just fine, anything new looks boring. So I want to point out here that the reason you're going through this being a new offer from the universe and a new offer from the universe being uninteresting, it is possible that the reason you're going through this is to learn how to accept rejection and make offers, even though the people that you're making offers to, they're not going to be receptive. I mean, that would be like a deep cut if, like, you know, to make a music metaphor. It's more likely, since this is in the position of something you don't see coming, that someone's going to make an offer to you that you are not interested in. So I'm going to say, go out on a limb here, I know, that it is looking more possible now that this offer could come from an ex, or that one of the aces of cups that are presented to you during this time frame comes from someone that you would have expected it to resonate with you in a different way. Maybe you even like prayed, dreamed, hoped, meditated, tried to manifest this person coming back. But if that's your story, when they do, you're not going to be interested. You're going to feel like, oh, wait, no, this isn't what I want, actually. So take that as it resonates. I think something you thought you wanted, when it's offered to you, you don't want it. Oh, yeah, okay. Whether or not it is a specific person coming back, I'm looking at this more and more like this is something that you've wished for, something that you've really wanted, you're dead set on having it, and universe is like, okay, here's what you asked for. And when it actually shows up, you're like, oh, wait, no, that's not what I want. And I don't get it being traumatic per se. It feels much more like empowering when you realize this. Like it had you in a trance, or it had you like all swept up in a dream or something that was a bit of a fantasy. Whereas when your fantasy version of it becomes a reality and it actually shows up on your doorstep and you see what it's actually like and you feel what it's actually like, you're going to have a different feeling about it than your fantasy version was in your mind. Okay, hopes and fears, we have the Lovers in reverse. So despite my better judgment, it is shaping up that this is most likely, I shouldn't say despite my better judgment. What I mean is I tried not to shoehorn readings into being like a relationship reading or an ex-bag reading. But I mean, we're human beings. That's what we want to know about, right? So I don't fault you for that if that's what you came here looking for. Because by now the title of this video is probably all about exes. So bringing it back to the story, your hopes and fears, we have the Lovers in reverse. This is telling me that someone with whom you shared a very strong connection and bond you're in a period of separation from them, which likely is you were together and there's a breakup, or you're taking a pause. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the Chariot here at the bottom of the deck. You still feel aligned with them, but your instinct to move forward at all costs is like it's at odds with the fact that you're currently sitting around waiting for them, or it feels in some regard like you're tethered to the past and it's inhibiting you from moving forward. So that definitely bothers you, but I'd say you have the power. If that's the case, you have the power to cut that cord right now. Like it doesn't have to hold you back. You think that it's holding you back because you don't have that closure, and you think the closure has to come from that person. It doesn't. So you're hopeful that you'll stay broken up. You're hopeful that you made the right choice. You're fearful that you made the wrong choice and that you belong together, because there's still this this imprint, this strong bond that's like, it feels like it's the template that you need to live through right now. The way this is all turning out is with the Tower. Okay, so what I want to say here is what you are wishing for, what you are manifesting is likely not in your best interest here. With the Magician at the bottom of the deck, you're asking for something that you feel like you really want. You're going to get it. It's going to show up for you, but you're not going to want it. And one way or another, this whole house of cards is going to come crashing down. It will be for your own good. It will be for the good of the situation, because there's not a stable foundation. It's not something that can stand the test of time. So rather than try and, like, you guys know Jenga, if I'm thinking of, the wooden blocks that stack, it's like there's one little wooden block at the bottom, and there's this elaborate fantasy tower built on top of it, but the foundation is faulty. And you're trying to build more on top of it, and because the tower hasn't come crashing down yet, even though the person's out of your life in a certain regard, you're still looking at it like, I put all this work into it, and it's a beautiful tower, and I want to move into it, and I want to live in that fantasy. But what's going to happen, I think, here is that it's going to show up the way you think you want it. You're going to try to move into that faulty tower, and when you start moving around in it, it's going to get unstable and scary and uncomfortable, and things are going to start going wrong in different situations. You're going to realize once you're in it, I don't want this, and it's going to come crashing down. This is very, I know, blunt, but that's what you come here for. That's the name of the game. That's why I do this, is to tell you the story that I see in the cards. So hopefully for some or most of you, hearing this is going to just make you a little bit wiser, or open up your mind to see the situation, the potential of it playing out a different way. Because just because this is the way your energy is pointed right now, you could look at it and say, oh, I didn't see it that way. Let me instead bring new energy to this situation, and you'll have a different outcome if you do that. If you want a different outcome than a tower moment, I mean, towers aren't necessarily bad. It's just a shakeup. It's just things massively changing all at once in an unexpected way. The reason why we perceive it as bad is because human nature is to perceive change as traumatic. We like things that we've built to remain built. We like to build upon it even further. And when it gets shaken apart and when it falls down, we experience grief and sadness and loss. So if that's happening for you, it's paving the way, and it's making room for something much steadier with a stable foundation, with an opportunity to actually be the vibe that you wanted this other thing to be. So all of the intentions and the work that you've laid is not for nothing. It's just this iteration of it isn't the right one, okay? If you want a different outcome, though, or the ideal outcome based on the energies that they're already in the works, don't engage. The Five of Wands in reverse says someone might present something to you as a challenge. Someone might try to pick a fight with you, or I don't know if you guys know that movie, or the trilogy of movies Back to the Future, but there's this trope that happens where the main character, Marty McFly, gets called a chicken or like a coward, and that's his trigger. If someone, he might be, ice water running through his veins and nothing can phase him, but the minute someone insinuates that he is a coward, that triggers him to fight. watch out for your triggers. Identify your triggers if you don't already know them, because this person likely knows your triggers and will press your buttons. So the way that you win here is by not letting yourself getting triggered, not letting yourself engage in the combat. Now, this is a minor arcana card. It's something that would pass quickly anyways, but with this whole story, the way I'm seeing it, it's much more likely to blow over quickly and not impact your life as negatively, the more that you can step out of the way of anyone who's trying to inject drama or arguments or press your buttons. Find your inner zen, okay? Aries, I know this was a rough one. Thanks for sticking with me. It was also a very long one because I wanted to, give it its due. I hope that it helped. Good luck this week. Stand your ground, but don't engage. And I'll see you back next week.